So now we'll head into the 90s. Where's my helper to help me get dressed? Anyway, now the 90s went still with the chokers. By this time, they say jewelry is like shoes. The pointy toe shoes, which we wore, oh gosh, pointy toes, did we start wearing those when? In the 80s? And they've come back. In fact, I think they've become sort of a classic. I think jewelry kind of went the same way. The resurgence of a lot of the old things. The shell jewelry came back. Beautiful jewelry from the islands. I have a lot of abalone and shell. The kids always loved to wear that when they got into high school and college too. Maybe that's where a lot of that went. Always loved the black and white, and I love the cuffs. I have some black and white dangles, but somewhere in my little mess that I haven't gotten to yet, somewhere I had the black and white yin yang earrings. To go with them, and I can't find them. I have a case over there with all my jewels that I separated yesterday. The kids were looking through there, and Nanny, they said, where did you keep all this? And I had it in all those plastic bags. Lots of big earrings. I love the big hoops, and of course the hoops always stayed in. Colored hoops. I have wooden hoops. Wooden jewelry stayed in. At one point I had some great wooden hoops, and I think once again those might have disappeared with the girls. This one I can't even get on anymore, so it'll have to go to one of the girls. But I have some wooden hoops too that are great and big. I love the big hoops. Mostly I wear hoops, but the dangling earrings started to come in the 90s too. Now, tell me about your love of jewelry and some of the things maybe that you have and have dug out and started to wear again, even around the house. We're not going anyplace these days, but it's kind of fun to just play jewelry like we used to play house. So, what I have on today, first of all, my hat is an old hat. I think I got this in Hawaii, but it's blue, a blue underband, and here it's a little faded from being at the beach. There's flies around. And I decided I would show you, I talked about it yesterday, maybe I didn't yet, my Lapis Lazuli jewelry. That it all started when we lived in Scotland many, many years ago in the late 60s. And we were in Spain on a family trip one day with all our little 4 kiddies. And he bought me this beautiful Lapis Lazuli bracelet. It's a semi-precious stone. I don't know too much about it, but it's beautiful. And I have worn this ever since then. It also has the silver links. Treasured it. And about 10 years ago, I found a beautiful lapis lazuli necklace to go with it. It has the silver trim on the side. I would imagine it might be old, but isn't that gorgeous? And this I don't think is lapis lazuli, but we were going on a cruise and I wanted to wear this. And of course I love my layer look, so I did get this too. I also found a lapis lazuli ring. Isn't that beautiful? Can you see it? So that's my blue that matches my Hawaiian hat. We're starting the 90s now, and we have so many fun things to talk about. And I know there's a lot of jewelry lovers out there, because this jewelry video of ours that I just put up 2 or 3 days ago just has gone wild. So for all you jewelry lovers, dig into your pile of jewelry from the old days, dig it out, try it on. Don't throw it away. Maybe give it to granddaughters. Let them come up and pick it out, or daughters, and treasure it. Jewelry is fun. I believe the jelly shoes were still in the 90s, and I should consult my notes to see what the 90s were all about. And of course, find my glasses. Got them. So, the trends in the 90s. Puka shells were still around, so plus the toe rings. It was a beachy theme still. Chokers were still in. I could never really wear them. The big clips for your hair, because we started to pull our hair back. We had butterfly clips, especially the little young ones used to wear those. Oh, the big thing in the 90s was a cursive necklace with your name. Very delicate gold. And women could wear this, and of course the young girls too. Mood rings. Hi, how many of you had mood rings? Didn't we all love mood rings? I had several of them, and the kids used to love it. Even the boys would put a ring on and see if their mood, they'd try and play real mad and see if their mood would change. Sure enough, it does. Those mood rings work, and you could buy those anywhere. Friendship bracelets, they were in with the younger people. Of course, the yin-yang necklaces and earrings. My yin-yang earrings are about this big, and of course black and white. And they went with this necklace. Oh, the slap bracelets. Now, we women didn't wear the slap bracelets at that point, but the kids loved those. I remember buying a lot of those at Christmas time, putting them in stockings. Those were those ones you'd slap and all of a sudden it'd curl around your wrist. They were fun. The peace signs. They were starting to generate themselves within your earrings and some necklaces. Hemp bracelets, rope bracelets, and that's when the wood also came in. I have a lot of wood earrings and some pretty bamboo ones, which I can only find one of right now. The gold always stayed in, but by this time the gold prices were starting to go up. So it was always a look, a good look to put. Sometimes you'd mix your gold or your silver with your other costume jewelry. And the layered look in necklaces always was there. And I always did that. Somehow it was always more is better. So that's what I did. So right after this, we'll get into the 2000, the early 2000s up to 2010. And then I just saw a review of the recent shows with all of the fashions. And of course, that's when the jewelry trends start to come out too. If they're shown on the runways, the jewelry trends come out. And this trend of one earring, one long dangly earring. It looks like it's a resurgence of the old, just like the shoes, the old trends are coming back, especially now in 2020. I kind of like that one earring look, especially if it's big and flashy, mainly because I've lost another earring, or it doesn't have the little clip and I have to get around to doing some work with my pliers and put some rings on some of my jewelry. But and it's big jewelry again. So we'll get to the 2000s. 1 minute. These we bought in Hong Kong as well. Little gold rings. These are called ring guards, I think. And I bought 2 of them because I'll show you what it does on the, and they were reasonably inexpensive. So were gold with rubies too, by the way, little tiny rubies over in Hong Kong. Okay, this is the way you put these on. I'm gonna do it like this. First you put the one guard on with the little diamonds facing down here, and then you put a ring on. Oops, this one won't go. Nope, but this is one of the pretty ruby rings that we bought there too, with little teeny tiny diamond chips in it. So I'll have to put another one. Maybe this one still fits. This ring, all our children bought for me on a birthday, and I guess most of them were in high school or grade school. And in there are all the birthstones of all the children, and I did have to have it resized because I did have skinny fingers in those days. But look at the look that you get from ring guards. Isn't that pretty? If you have a smaller ring that you want it to look bigger, you put these little things on. Put any ring in the middle. How pretty is that? Isn't that nice? Oh, my hands are so bad. Don't look at my nails. I garden. And this is another little ruby ring that we bought over there too. I guess this is the way to do it, right? Very, very inexpensive. So that's it. Maybe we'll show earrings from time to time. Some of the earrings that you might be seeing, the jewelry that goes with it. I love these. These are abalone and black, and they're big and wild and geometric. These are some of my way out there mod type stuff. I love these. These are all just costume jewelry, but they're big and flashy, and I love them. This looks like that, like my glasses. Matches my glasses. Bone. Love these. Love all these earrings. And another geometric shape. Twiggy would love that, wouldn't she? Or maybe Cyndi Lauper or Madonna would like that one too. Here's a look. I always loved this necklace. It was so colorful and pretty. Beads and shells. And it went along with the colorful summer look. And I had big colorful earrings that I would wear with it. And of course the colorful bangles or cuff bracelets. This is a beaded cuff bracelet. And all these were really, really inexpensive. But it's a great summer look and goes with your summer colors that you're wearing in the summer. So just wanted to throw this in. This was a fun one. We're heading into 109, 111 weekend here in Southern California, and I want to stop filming before it gets too hot here. It's going to be a hot one, but good old September weather. Another one I wanted to show you. I used to teach school, and I always taught the little ones, kindergarten, first, second, maybe sometimes I taught a fourth or fifth, but the children always loved, and by the way, they loved my Christmas sweaters too, and I have an assortment of Christmas sweaters, and they're not ugly. They're cute and they're pretty. But the kids always loved when I wore necklaces like this with little children or the little worry dolls. I have a bunch of those. I think I'll probably put some of those on hats and some headbands and things for the kids. But this is a fun little necklace. A lot of it started to fall apart. It originally was a belt. Isn't this cute? And it has little animals and things on the bottom. I think this is cute. Make a cute little mask for belly dancing too, wouldn't it? Anyway, my old standbys, by the time I was a big girl, was basically lockets. Oh, I'm such a sucker for lockets. And I have so many little lockets. The kids gave me a lot of lockets over the years as presents, and I'm going to open one or two for you to see. Some are old. I have a locket that my father gave to my mother before they were married too, but I'm going to open one that Colleen and Mikey gave to me when they were in junior high. And it's so sweet. It was a birthday present, I believe. And I started to wear lockets and gold chains, and my favorite thing of all that became my standby was my grandmother's, not my grandfather, but my grandmother's pocket watch, which I have hung with her initials on there. And I have hung this on a chain, and I've worn it for so many years, almost as a standby, with just nice gold earrings that Bill gave me years and years ago. And it's a watch on this side, and on the other side, and it's, I think, 18 karat gold. And on this side, I don't know what, but it's there. And the funny part about it is every Sunday when we went to church, a lot of the families lived nearby, so we would meet at a certain point on Sunday morning and go to church together as a family, and a lot of times we'd all go out to breakfast afterward. And I always had my gold pocket watch on, and many's the grandchild, when they were babies, would be sucking on this in church. You know, they used to love it. They'd make me open it and close it. And this has so much sentimental value, not only because it was my grandmother's, but because all throughout the years that I've worn this as a standby, and I did eventually just become that type of a jewelry type person, plus my Southwest, which I love and wear a lot. But because this has so many little grandchildren, and I have 10 great-grandchildren now, 20 grandchildren, and I love this. But that was a standby, but I'm going to open up one of these lockets for you, and I have to put the camera off to get it open. So here it is. It's a little heart, and the two of them bought this all by themselves. They were in junior high. Colleen and Mikey are about 18 months apart, and they're our two youngest of 6 children. And inside, they put their pictures. Isn't that sweet? And this morning, Colleen's children came down. Her girls are in high school right now, and they're all busy with their virtual, but they were on a break with their virtual learning. And I said, I want to show this to Shannon and Ryan, 2 of Colleen's daughters. And I told them the story about Colleen and Mikey giving this to me when she was in junior high. And little Shannon, who was just about the age, she just started high school, that Colleen was. And I opened it up and I showed her, and oh, she thought it was so cute seeing that picture of her mom. So there's a lot of sentiment to jewelry, and I hope you've saved a lot of your jewelry. I still have little, those little bracelets that have the letters on them, the little plastic ones that the kids made when they went through their jewelry making phase. There's Nanny on it, or some of the children in my classes that I taught would make me little necklaces and also little bracelets, and I still have those. Of course, I have the problem of not wanting to ever throw anything away, so someday people can do what they want with it. So okay, into the 2000s now. So actually the 2000s were that repetition of some of the earlier fads, but not so much the mod hippie type things anymore. Women started to wear chokers, everything from pearl chokers or even cameos. Pretty pins were in. You could get all sorts of wonderful costume jewelry with pretty pins. I used to love pins. And the jewelry became more sedate. A lot of gold chains, and if you had them, I don't think people were buying too awfully much gold by the mid 2000s. Gold was almost prohibitive really to buy. But I have my collection that the kids and Bill had given me from years ago, and I do wear them. I love my bangle bracelets, and I have a nice little row of them from a long time ago, thank heavens, and some gold chains, and of course my pocket watch. And that became my standard, other than when I wanted to dress up in the Southwestern. People really enjoyed a little bit of everything. There was nothing new that came up. People started to pierce their ears, multiple piercing. I think they had a term for it, up the ear, did they call it? It was a funny term I read and forgot it now. But little diamond studs, those were in. Little gold necklaces with maybe a little costume diamond on the end, a cubic zirconia. Is that what they call it, zirconia? And so the 2000s up to 2010 were not too exciting, and now they tell me the new things coming in are the old things again. I told you about the runways and the one earring, a little more chunky now, but what a history of jewelry. And of course you get to a point where there is really nothing new that people, they mix silver and leather together, braided leather now too. I'm seeing a lot of that. That's pretty jewelry too. And I still have these on. I was going to put my gold on, but I'm getting tired of changing here. I'm going to do another close-up of all the different types of the jewelry. I think I ran through everything: the gold, the jade, the black and white, the long necklaces, the pearls, chokers. Look at my selection of chokers here. You can see this. I never really wore chokers because my neck wasn't adapted for chokers. I love a lot of the shell jewelry. I love these big things. This is a pretty necklace. And over here is just more pearls, silver chains. Oh, I have some wonderful things that once again the children gave me. And this was in the 2000s, along about 2010, when we had 6 children. And here's my 6 children, all with their birthstones. The kids gave me this necklace one year. And then as the grandchildren were coming along, all the kids chipped in. Right now we have 20, but on here, we only have 14, I believe. And these are those little discs that you can buy and have the child's name put on there. And so we have starting from the firstborn, Bridget. The last one I think might have been Shannon. She might have been. But Mikey's children aren't on here yet. He has 3. And I believe 2 of Matthew's. So I'm gonna do those myself, I think. One of my daughter-in-laws has one of those stamping machines. And I do have some jewelry sets. I did take a couple of jewelry making classes. So I think I'm gonna finish out my grandchildren. And this morning, when my daughter said, why don't you just get a lot of the great grandkids too? We have 10 of those already. So we'll see. I love to wear those. And silver jewelry is fun to wear. And it's affordable and beautiful. Pendants. Look at this pendant I picked up recently. I found this at a hospital. You know, every once in a while they have a jewelry sale in their shops. Isn't it pretty? It looks like a tile on one side. It's about 2.5, almost 3 inches in diameter. And on the other side, it's a beautiful silver pendant. Very large and makes a statement. I think I'm going to put a nice chain on this. So, other than my Irish Celtic jewelry and my Scottish jewelry, which is the last thing to show you, I think that's my run through of all my years of jewelry collecting, and hopefully you've enjoyed some of the history that I either remember or did some research on. And maybe you have some things that I missed. I know I must have missed a lot of the trends or some specific thing that you remember from a certain era. Please comment and tell me about it. I need comments. Talk to me. Give me some feedback. That would be so fun to hear from you. And this is getting a little long, so I'm having trouble. My library, my iMovie library, has told me it's filled up, so I couldn't put the video that I made the other day of part 1 on yet. But one of my sons is going to help me put some of my projects, the movies, into the cloud. I have learned a lot, but there's still so much that I have to learn, which is good. It's good to keep learning, but I need a little help now. So hopefully I'll be able to put both these videos on by Sunday. So I'm going to show you my Celtic jewelry, and I think that'll do it for trends in jewelry. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this, and stay tuned for the Celtic jewelry. Wind up with the Celtic jewelry. The rest of it I will show you on the tabletop, but I have on what they call a kilt brooch, and normally women or men would wear this when they're dressed up. And our son Bill started the Los Angeles County Fire and Drum organization about 10 years ago. And he was the major drum with the big, fluffy black hat. He had the most beautiful outfit, the whole bit, the knife in the socks and the kilt and the plate. And you wear this thing called a plate, I believe, P-L-A-I-T, and on there you wear the kilt pin. And I have a wonderful one that was given to me when we lived in Scotland by a man, Willie Golf, and this was back in the late 60s, early 70s, and he wore this when he fought on the African front during World War II. Much bigger than this, but in the middle, the stones usually in these are cairngorms, and they're a stone, a semi-precious stone, out of the hills of, and the mountains of the cairngorms, which are north of Scotland, up in Aviemore, which is a ski area. We skied up there. And this is a Scottish piece. And I have a couple more that I've given to the girls with, one is a beautiful ruby stone, and I have some on my hat, which I will put on. One on there, it's probably a bit much, but I usually wear this on St. Patty's Day, not with the third pin on there, only two. And these are small ones, and this is the traditional Irish Trinity knot, which is 3 separate knots put together, and there's no ends on them all together. Symbolizes unity, and it's a wonderful thing. Anyway, this is my Scottish-Irish hat that I wear on St. Patty's Day and whenever else I can. And these are just some more pins up here. They're pretty, aren't they? Okay, and the necklace is something Bill gave me, and it's seed pearls, and on the end are 2 little pendants, and I believe they signify the heart and hand claddagh symbol of the Irish symbol. And this is Irish, and I'm not seeing with this one eye here, but some more Irish jewelry. Let's see, this was my mother's, and she's lost a few stones. It was a pendant, and I want to wear it and put another chain on it, but it's lost some of the little stones, so I'm going to try and have some put in there too. Isn't that pretty? That was my mom's. And here's another Irish cross of some sort with a stone in the middle. These are costume type jewelry. And another pendant of the Trinity knot. I love these. This is a little more delicate. And some more little bracelets. I forget that Annie and somebody make these bracelets. They're great. And I love the ones, especially with the Irish Trinity knots on there. And that's what I would wear with my Scottish jewelry. And now I will attempt to put on my Scottish hat. Now, if I had time, I would definitely put some pins on here. And I know this is a gent's golf hat, but I wear it. And of course, it doesn't look so great with my pigtails, but got to have some sort of hair showing, and it's too long to let it hang down and too hot. So that's the end of my jewelry fashion show and my collection over, well, it's 5, 6, 7 decades of collecting jewelry. And I don't know whether I'm going to put it back in the bags again and label it for the children so they'll know what it is. I think I'm going to start dispersing some of it now to granddaughters and great-granddaughters, and let them enjoy some of this for now. So thank you so much for watching. This has been so fun for me. I am very hot right now, and I think it's starting to get there. And I will hope to put these up within a day or two, as soon as I can get my library cleared, and it will take the uploads. I love you all. Please comment. Let me know if you've enjoyed this. Give me some of the comments that of jewelry you wore that I failed to mention. It would be fun for me to hear that. Bye for now. Thank you again.